there, people of the world, and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. So you guys, today I'm going to talk about something that will probably be not my most popular video. It's not something that I think today in society we do a very good job of representing. Basically, I've been learning a lot about what the law actually means. And when I say the law, I'm not talking about don't run a stop sign. I'm talking about like God's law. Yeah, this is a fun topic, right? But you guys, I've been reading and learning so much lately. Again, I don't know everything. I don't know close to everything, but I do want to begin a conversation about things that I believe really matter. Like, I've kind of experienced the mindset that wanted to be like, only law matters, all law, no grace, like grace is easy, whatever. And sadly, that's a common way that Christian culture comes across, and then they come across as just mean and just angry and just like very legalistic. So my mindset has like visited that. I've seen that, I've experienced that, I've read about that in books. And then there's the other mindset where it's like 100% grace and no law at all, no format, no structure, just like the law's very Old Testament, it doesn't even matter anymore. Jesus came to get rid of the law and like all this stuff, and forget that, and like my mindset's been there too. Neither one of those two sat right with me. We like to kind of take things and explain them in our own ways, which isn't wrong, but we like to like have a good understanding of things and be able to grasp it and explain it, and we explain things so much sometimes that we explain them away, and we don't even consider the idea that something might be bigger than us to understand. And if it's bigger than us to understand, then like we're just gonna forget that and make it our own way and find our own truth and what we all want to live by. But then I look and I see things that like David's talking about. In the Psalms, David was the man after God's own heart, right? Like, he was like the greatest of any of the kings, and he loved the law. Like, he kept singing about how much joy the law gave him, and I'm like, what the heck? How does a law give someone so much joy? Like, why is that such a thing? And so I was thinking, and I've been reading like a crap ton of C.S. Lewis. Oh my gosh, I've never read so much in my life rather than the past few days. Also, the sweater's really itchy. I don't know what to do about it. You guys, I don't think we're meant to ignore God's law. I don't think we're meant to throw it to the side and just be like, it's very Old Testament and it's very, we're better than that. We're more than that now. Like, we've progressed. I don't think that that is what we're supposed to be doing. If you look at the heart of the law and the heart of what God actually asks us to do, it's things that bring us so much life and so much joy and peace. The law was meant to show us God's character. The law isn't religion. Religion is man-made. The law came from God. God gave us a law to show us His character, to show us how we are meant and created to live. If we believe in God, that means that we believe in this all-knowing, all-perfect creator, author of this world, someone that created us, that knows everything going on in our bodies, everything going on in our brains. So who are we to think that someone who created us doesn't know what we need and doesn't know what we actually were created for? The statement that I believe in God is a really big statement, and I think that we need to look at what that actually means for our lives, what that actually means for our existence, before we just assume that we do and move on and do whatever else that we want. There's so much behind that, and it's so beautiful. God made us knowing what we need and how we need it and how we function best, and He made us that way with intention. He made us that way with purpose. It says that we are made in the image of God. Well, the law is supposed to show God's character. So what makes us think that that means we throw it away and that it doesn't exist anymore? Like, is us deciding to ignore what God says and God gave us and do our own thing any different than a clay pot saying to its potter, you're doing it wrong, I want to be made this way instead? Our bodies are biologically created to eat vegetables and protein and vitamins and all that healthy stuff that a lot of times we try to ignore. But it's biologically made that way, so when we actually eat the vegetables and the vitamins, we feel good. We are living how we're meant scientifically to live. That's why we have more energy. But then when we go and we eat cupcakes just because we feel like it, because let's be real, I do that a lot, we don't really feel as good, right? There's a reason for that, because our bodies weren't made to just eat that crap. It tastes great, and I'm not saying don't eat cupcakes. That is not true at all. You guys, I don't want this video to come across like I'm saying that the law is going to save you, because that's this whole other legalistic way of living, and that's this whole other thing. I don't want this video to come across that way. I'm not sure if it has. I've never made a video like this in my life. All I'm trying to say is that the mindset that the law doesn't matter, we throw it away, that it means nothing, I don't believe that that's true. But there is no law without grace. There is no justice without mercy. It's more complicated than we want to make it seem. There's both sides of the spectrum. Following the law is not going to save you. Only Jesus is going to save you. But if we believe in this God, and we believe in this book that he gave us, and we believe that we were created in his image, if we really believe that, then wouldn't we do what he says? Like, wouldn't we think that we should probably take his advice? It just doesn't logically make sense to me the other way around. And like, we're never gonna do it perfectly. I'm well aware of that. We're a broken world. But because we're such a broken world, maybe the answer isn't to go find a new way. Maybe the answer isn't to go find some subjective truth to live by. Maybe the answer is actually to go back to the original way we were created to live. To go back to the original intention of this world in general. There is one truth, you guys. Like, if you believe in God, you believe there's one truth. I don't believe truth is something that's meant to evolve over time. I think that what happened was we took the actual truth and we messed it up. So I don't think it's about going and finding a new one. I think it's more about finding what we actually were created to be and live that. This stuff is uncomfortable and this stuff is hard and we don't like to talk about this stuff, but I think it's so important, you guys, because this stuff matters. We can't run from what's uncomfortable and just make our own way. Otherwise, like, what are we doing? I wrote a book, and my book shares my story, and it's kind of just my journey about finding truth and freedom and grace in a really confusing, messed up, broken world. And so if you're interested in that, the link's in the description box below. If you have any questions, if you want to keep this conversation going, please don't be afraid to comment. Again, I don't know everything. This is just stuff that I feel like we need to at least have a conversation about and be aware of. That's all. So I love you, and I will see you next time.